Hi guys, BlazeThrough Gaming here and welcome back to another Destiny 2 video, as I'm calling it, Crucible A.M. We're now on the third Crucible A.M. that I've done. That's my quick, that's a bit like me. Right, so in this one we've also had the, this week at Bungie, release a new update for everything we kind of look forward to and a little bit of information on some other pieces. So we're also going to talk about, obviously, the Iron Banner that's coming in next on Monday on the 30th in the next reset. So we'll talk about weapon systems and what we can get and sort of how this is all going to work this time round. Then we're going to kind of lead on to the whole masterwork armor pieces and kind of how that's going to kind of some of the things into that as well and how they kind of link. And then also they talked about kind of the raid reworks on armor and that sort of pieces and like that. And following up to that as well, obviously they talk about the raid ghost a little bit, and then obviously at the end of that we're going to have the patch notes as well as a little bit of a update on kind of the issue that's going on around shaders of late. Bear with me though, because I've only read through this week at Bungie once. I read it once before we went live, so a little bit fresh in my mind. I've got it up next to me so I can kind of flick to it if I necessarily need to. So if I suddenly stop on screen whilst playing some Crucible, because obviously it's called Crucible A.M, the whole idea of this is to be able to jump in and have some fun playing Crucible whilst giving you some useful information or a little bit of an update on what's going on in the world of Destiny. Right, that's enough of the Crucible Ready page. Let's go into launch and let's get some quick play on the go. Whilst we're loading, I'm just going to check to make sure sound's going okay. So my mic's going to go offline for a little bit, but I will be back shortly. Right, ladies and gents, I'm now back. Sounds okay. Noticed obviously I'm a little bit echoey, and the reason for that is obviously I'm no professional YouTuber, as we can also see. Obviously I plan on wanting to get better at doing this and spend a bit more time and effort doing more of this, but for now this is what I have to do. I'm sat in my living room on my big screen whilst I talk here with my little iPad set up next to me with the information that I want to talk about. So we'll have a little bit of fun and we'll get into the Crucible. Let me get the swing of playing Crucible before we start talking about the upcoming Iron Banner. But hey, let's see how shocking I am. I have completely gone the opposite direction to the rest of the team. That's a good start, you know. Who needs team fire, eh? Let's bring Uriel's out. I don't mind chucking a double grenade in there for a little bit of fun. Right, okay, so let's get at least another kill under my belt before I start waffling on about. Does that count as my kill? That doesn't count as my kill, but counts as their kill. We've got another guy coming in, right? Oh, I really want this one. Alright, yeah, that works. Okay, happy days. Alright, so let's get into it. Alright, so as we all know, The reset comes in. Whoa, what's going on here? Oh, alright. Bit of an ambush here. Oh, sorry. It's getting a little bit hairy. I thought I'd just quickly disperse some of these guys. You know, we want to be able to have some form of good shooting in this. Okay. Alright, I digress. Okay, so, as we know, Faction Rally last week wasn't the best, shall we say. Bungie didn't tell us much going on about Faction Rally leading into it. Oh, goddamn swords, man. Oh, okay, let's just pull that map, that's even better. Okay, so, as we know, Faction Rallies, Bungie didn't tell us very much about Faction Rally until Faction Rally hit, so needless to say, a lot of the community was not happy in the fact that there was nothing new introduced. They've tried to change their approach slightly with Iron Banner. So Iron Banner comes back next week. The mode for Iron Banner next week is going to be Control. So we've got Control going on next week, starting on the 30th, and then ends the following week on the 6th of February, before we end up hitting into, was it Crimson Tides, the Valentine's Day event special, on the following week, on the 13th. So there's a little bit of pieces coming in and out, which is good to see. But what they've said, this Bungie have now turned around and said to us that obviously Lord Shaxx returns to the tower in Season 2. There has been some changes to how you go about defeating your Guardians. Basically, the changes that they've made is that we've got some new weapons. We've got obviously a new hand cannon, a new scout rifle, and a new shotgun, as well as Iron Banner related sparrows and ghosts. I'm presuming the sparrows will have. If he dies and I don't know what the hell's going on. Woohoo! Good. Yeah, that's good going for me. I'm right with that. I'm right with. Right. Okay. So, sorry, I get a little bit carried away, but I think that's the whole idea. Is let's change it up a little bit. Okay, I might deviate from the news again, like I just have. This is quite a fun match. This is a good match. I'm enjoying this match. I'd love Javelin 4 though. I think it's brilliant. Okay, should have run a bit better. Okay, sorry. So we've got, you know, Iron Banner Sparrow as well. That's up for grabs, as well as obviously new emblem because we're in a new season. So the new emblem is going to be there to show us obviously how many packages and stuff like that. I'm presuming how many packages we've unlocked, like we did in Season 1. That was no hope. So we've got new engram coming in, and also the new ghost shell. Me personally, I'm a bit boring. I like the old style shells. I don't like the new look of the new shells. But that's just me. I don't like them. I like the old ones. I like the ones with the bit of a point. I don't like the circles on them. So I'm just scrolling through and just double checking, make sure I've got everything I need to know about it all. Okay, so what they have said this time is there's no limit on tokens or engrams that you can get. Nice. How the hell I want that. Okay, so they are saying, let me try and find it because I want to kind of read it for verbatim, you know. Okay, let's not stand in the door. Let's move out of the way for a second. I know this is boring to watch if I'm stood in the corner, but I want to make sure I get this right. Okay. Where is it? Anyway, someone's done a Dawnblade anyway. Okay, so this is what this is a quote from Bungie. Let's get the enemy out of the way. Come on. Oh, mother. God damn it. Just die, will you? Right. So, I will read verbatim. I want to get. Where is it? Yeah. Okay. Whilst I'm dead. So, this is what Bungie had to say. It says, on the game mode, there are no limits to how many engrams you can acquire or how many tokens you can earn. Get as much playtime as you can during the week. It will always move you a little closer to opening another engram, earning new ornaments, or purchasing a piece of gear from Lord Shax. So obviously now, like every other vendor we've got, we have the opportunity to purchase gear from him, and don't know how it's going to work. I don't know if they're going to rotate it daily, because I know we get rotations on. I know we get rotations and everything like that. Me personally, I'm not a massive fan of the ornaments, but that's just me. I think they look pretty cool, but I mean, I don't know if I will be hunting the ornaments as such. I said in previous streams, I miss the armor from D1, but like I said, it's personal preference. I don't hate them. Just too many people there to get.
Victory is all I ask. Good.
Oh, I died right then. So they also say a final way to earn rewards is by completing challenges. Ornaments are available for all Iron Banner gear, and you can unlock them by completing various objectives for Lord Shax. So, I mean, if you're hunting the different ornaments and all the gear pieces, then you've got this Iron Banner, you've got the opportunity. They can put everything in it. There is no kind of drip feeding this gear into the game. And whilst we're loading, this is a prime opportunity to kind of look through and make sure that we have everything on the Iron Banner before we swiftly move on. I mean, you'll be able to just go in and you'll be able to purchase weapons, ornaments, and all the other armor that we've seen in Season 1. That will all still be there anyway. So, I mean, Iron Banner, I think it's going to be in a better stand than it was in, better stand than what the faction rally was last week. We know a lot more information about it. I think they're going on the right track. The fact they haven't, from what I can see, and I'm only going off what I've read, is that the Iron Banner loot table will all be inside the Iron Banner. So that seems like the Iron Banner next week will be good, and I would have said to anyone anyway, if that Iron Banner's coming back and you've stepped away, it's just a bit of harmless Crucible. I mean, that's what that's what I'm doing with Crucible A.M. as well. You know, it's just a little bit of fun before work or before school. I do it anyway, from streaming or not. I jump on, I try and complete my milestones. I've got a full-time job where I work 40 hours a week, and I've got a family when I come home. So for me to log on and get time, this is why I do my streams at ungodly reasonable hours of the day. But I like it when people rewatch it back for the day, and I know they can be long and the attention span's not there, and I get it. I want to create smaller videos. I want to create more information-based stuff on Destiny, which has been hard at the moment. I can understand. There's a lot of hate as well, and I don't want to join that hate train. All that hate, you know, get on the wagon and the hate. I mean, I have put my views across, but I still love the game, still love the franchise, and I don't want to see it to die out. It needs to say there needs to be changes. I'm not going to hide the fact. And I think people should come back for Iron Banner, just because there isn't any caps. It is a bit of fun. Get back into your fire teams, and just go for it. Alright, we've talked enough about Iron Banner. We've done a match about Iron Banner, so what we're going to do now is we're going to move over to talking about Masterwork Armour. So, as you're fully aware anyway, we have got Masterwork weapons currently. I'm currently using one right now. My Uriel's Gift is a Masterwork weapon, and I love Uriel's Gift. Okay, yeah, it's a little bit overpowered in some respects, but that's just not going to stop me playing with it. Ah! Since you come, where do you come from? Ah, balls. And so, a lot of us already understands how, we've already got, some of us already hunting Masterwork weapons and trying to get a full load of them, or all our favourites in. By obviously the enground of all the Masterwork cores. I believe they have reworked.
You're falling behind.
Okay, that's not good. Alright. So I will read from this in a minute. To kind of go over the big piece of information that they have got. So apologies, I know this isn't good. Me stopping every now and then just to read a little bit out to you. So obviously armor pieces now have been added into the collection for us to collect, which will be cool because it means a bit of grinding, a bit of hard work. It doesn't make endgame better, but it gives us a lot more things to do, as it were. So to get them, obviously you have to be a certain level, or certain power level, sorry. So by collecting the whole lot, you can get a whole set of perks and stats and stuff like that, which we'll go into now with the Masterwork. Right, let's get rid of this monkey, or he'll get rid of me, one of the two. No, he got rid of me. So the benefits of the Masterwork armor pieces is each armor piece grants 3% damage resistance. Oi, I'm in the middle of taunting here. Why are you shooting me? Go away. Take that, you little git. Oh, sorry guys, I was rudely interrupted by an ignorant titan here. Okay, we will get back to the stats in a second. We'll need 2 seconds. And this is where I'm going to do the tactical withdrawal, and I'm going to find a place to hide and cower for a second whilst at least try. I'll go over it. Right, and let's get away from the battle. Okay, so I was saying, each armor piece grants 3% damage resistance whilst using a super. Right, so okay, I didn't see it. Okay, so whilst you're in super now, you know when you're in there and you just keep shooting, you die before you get a chance to actually get your super being activated, and it gets killing. Yeah, that's goddamn annoying. So what they've done now is they're giving us a little bit of resilience, extra resilience, whilst using a super, which is good. I like that. It's a good start. And this is saying this. Okay, so now going off the back of that, so this stacks for a 15% damage reduction if you have a full set of Masterwork weapons. Masterwork armor. So if anything, that's a good way to get. It's a good reason to grind. It's a good way to grind out for Masterwork armor because you're going to get more percent. The more armor you get, the bigger the resistance you have to it. Whatever. So the more, obviously, if you get a full set of armor piece, that's 15% damage resistance. You're going to be pretty much like you were in almost, or close on par with how you were in Destiny 1, where you could actually probably activate the super, run around whilst they're shooting at you and get close to them. Unlike now, where you activate super, you get your ass absolutely handed to you. But hey, needs to say. Alright, so Masterwork armor can be reworked to different stat packages: heavy, light, and restorative. For one Masterwork core and a legendary shader. So reworks you're not going to be working on so many cores nowadays. Whereas before, you would probably work on like what? I think it was like between 5 and 10. Okay, that'll do. So that's good. You're not using some of your cores because it can be hard to get them. I mean, I struggle to get. I do struggle to get Masterworks on Masterwork weapons alone, and now trying to get wet armor pieces. That's going to be a bit of a struggle, but I think it'll be alright. Oh, I'm not super. Where is it all? Okay, so we're doing well then. Okay, so I've gone sidetracked again. I'm so bad for it. Not use these cores flying around. Let's get these cores.
Your legend, Rogue. I could not ask for a better victory.
You kill me at the end. Whatever. So they're saying you can now rework stats on your armor. The results will be set packages that are found on other pieces. There is a UI bug right now where basically, I see it now anyway on shaders occasionally, where they turn around and kind of go, you know, when you press it and you try and activate it and you go, doof, you think it's on, and you move it away and you're like, hang on, I swear I just loaded that on. Obviously it doesn't take your glimmer or anything off you, but they're just wanting to make us aware for that there is issues with kind of the rework UI in the system currently. So that's good. They're giving us a heads up. Okay, it's not. I don't want to say it's brilliant. Obviously, there shouldn't be any sort of these things going on, but you know, in the real world, there are issues with these things. I know people are frustrated with Bungie and the state of Destiny at the moment. I appreciate it. I'm frustrated as well, but at least they're being forthcoming. At least they're telling us that there is this issue with the UI. It's not the end of the world because we can just go, right, okay, I'll now just reload it to rework that piece of armor. So that's not a massive issue. And to everyone that's just joined the stream, hi, welcome. This is Crucible A.M. This is where I kind of play a bit of Crucible pretty badly because I'm jumping between screens looking at notes as well as trying to concentrate at doing the Crucible. I mean, I think I'm pretty shocking anyway at Crucible, but hey, that's neither here or there. But I also want to take the opportunity to also talk about sort of the updates that happen to Bungie, any news, sort of that sort of thing. So currently talk about Masterworks at the moment. If you didn't catch the start, we did go into the Iron Banner a little bit. I kind of deviated a bit. That's the problem. I kind of get a little bit sidetracked with the big screen with all the killing, and then back to behind the screen to kind of look. I should remember all in my head, but at the moment, I've already read it this morning. I've already got up to date this morning on everything. So yeah. So on Masterworks, it's in its first stage at the moment. They are planning to continue updating this system and adding additional benefits. So the benefits we're going to see with the Masterwork weapon, God, I keep saying weapons, Masterwork armor. So they're going to roll. Obviously, they're going to stick with the system. It is a good system, and especially if they can start adding more perks. So if there was like, I don't know, Masterwork mod or something like that, that gives us an extra ability to, I don't know, so say that you've got 10 or you've got 5 on reload, and then they go, right, you got a mod that gives you 10 or 5 on reload. You know, I said reload first, right? I wanted the stats like stability or, you know, all them sort of things. That would be interesting, but yeah, again, that one might not necessarily, that one probably won't be true. I mean, you'd probably feed it back to Bungie and say, look, Bungie, what about this? How about doing Masterwork mods or something like that? You know, just to change the mod system, because that's not going anywhere anytime soon. Which is a bit of a bugger. I'm not gonna lie. Well, I like the old system. I like the way the old system works. But anyhow, now that we're in the third Crucible match, we're going to kind of talk about the raid reward Rewards. Yes, raid.
Claim Zone B.
Basically, now what they're doing is, if you've ever done the raid, when you do the encounters, currently, you just get a load of tokens, and if you're lucky, occasionally, oh shit. That was bad choice, bad call. So, they're basically talking about kind of the perks now on raid armor. Raid armor now drops with perks and features. So these are the new raid mods that they've been talking about. They expanded a little bit on what we can see, what we're kind of going to get with them. I will get a kill. There we go. Got the kill. Happy days. So the raid mods are going to work slightly different than how we work the mod system now. They haven't gone on any details about mod 2.0 yet. Well, it's a kill. I might be dead, but it's a kill. I'm happy with that. Oh well. Anyway, so it appears on mods that are selectable on both new drops and existing raid armor pieces. So if you've already done the raid, once this update releases next week, you have the possibility, or not possibility, you should have raid perks on any, not perks, sorry, raid mods on them pieces of gear already. So you won't necessarily have to go, right, I've got a full raid set, now I need to go back in and do it again to get the mods. No, you don't need to do that. If you've already got a complete raid set, you will already have mods associated with that. So that's a good thing, you know. That's a good way to work the mods. I wish the mods work a bit similar to that in this. So they are reusable as well. So you can take mods off and then put them back on. That only works on the raid armor, from what I can tell. So what you can basically do, what was it saying? It says, sorry, it goes, just backtracking a little bit. So they're saying mods are reusable. If you swap another one of these, will always be in the list to swap back on your raid armor for the low price of 1 callus token, since no one wants to take a -5 power penalty. If they remove their legendary mods whilst in a raid, all the raid mods are legendary by default. So that's good. I'm surprised they didn't shoot me with that. Crap. Okay, I know I'm playing really bad in this match, but you know, there's so much information regarding the raid. I just want to make sure I don't say one thing and it's actually not true, because then it's me not giving correct information. I'm trying to build my channel. I'm building a channel on a game that's non-player base almost to a point, and it's hard. Well, I want to make sure I get my facts right, because I don't want to miscommunicate anything over to anyone else. So apologies for the extremely sucky gameplay. But once I get the news out of the way, I will probably do one extra match afterwards, just to kind of go, I don't completely and utterly suck. Depends on that. But hey. Okay, so the goal for these perks were to elevate the power of the Guardian in the raid. Okay, let's capture this in the camera in that sense. Sorry. To elevate the power of the Guardian in the raid, and we aim to build things that were useful in the in every encounter. As a result, we avoided things that any specific mechanics to be useful and move broadly useful perks in features.
That's a power play. You told them, now hold them.
Okay, that was piss poor performance by me. Okay. So some of the perks, they're going to go like, say, for example, recharge your grenade when you're active, when you activate your super, and deal 20% extra damage after getting a melee kill. So there's some of the perks that we should be looking at. There'll be other perks as well, but you know, for now, you know, that's a good step. I mean, so when you're in your encounters, you've got a good chance of dealing something, or I mean, I think the raid system, the raid mod system, will probably work out slightly better than say the mod system we got currently, but I don't have a lot of information on, like I said, mod 2.0. That's still quite new. But I look forward to hearing a bit more information on it. So now they're also turning around saying that raid encounters will always drop a raid piece. So we have a good chance now, whereas in the raids currently, if you've done it, or there is a very limited chance of dropping a raid weapon or a raid piece of armor. I mean, I've ever had in the raid, I've had one drop. I've had one measly drop when I've done the encounters, when I've done the raid. And the only other bit of raid weapon that I got was when I defeated Callus finally. That stream is on the channel if you want to check it out. It is a bit long. It is only the Callus one. We had that checkpoint, so we thought we'd just crack on from the checkpoint, which was good. I mean, so yeah, people were frustrated with what we got from were tokens and nothing else. That was, I was pretty disappointed for me. I mean, I didn't raid in D1 because I didn't have the player base or the friend base to really get on and do like the Gold Blast and Dark Below and stuff like that. Okay. So we're going to carry on some more raid stuff. So the raid event will now sell and rotate selected raid gear. That's both prestige and normal raid gear. Very good for the moment here. Get the information right, it's slightly better. Dark Sector, do you know how to get the Crimson Hand Cannon? Because I've got an excited engram. I've been opening them up. I've got nothing out yet other than regular exotic weapons and thanks for me about my mic. Apologies if my mic is dropping out. I will have a look at that. See what I can do. Please let me know if it's I mean, I know it's actually thanks for feedback. I will look into that shortly. In regards to the Crimson Engram Hand Cannon, so just through good milestones and engrams, it is a good bit of kit. So my advice is just keep running there. You can try using 3-point. I don't know if they fixed that system, I can't remember. But definitely, I just got into the game and I got a drop off of, I got off of Shats actually been doing a nightfall. So, if anything, if you're in a clan, keep your clan members together and jump in the nightfall, give that a go. I think that might be the best way to do it. Just grind out the game. The best way to actually want. I mean, I'm dropping. But I'm hoping, I think I can do it now, but I'm hoping that I'm submitting the semester and obviously the rate, which I haven't done anything thus far. Yeah, mate, if anything, if you're in clan, you can match together, just smash the nightfall out a couple of times. Okay. Burning, mate, I will look at that now. Right. I wonder if that's any better. That's not good. Ah, crap. Alright. Bear with me, guys. I'm going to try and turn the mic off if I can, and then put it back on again and play around with some of the connections. Just cancel out the Crucible for now. Okay, back in again. I've just disconnected everything and put it all in. Don't know what was going on with that one, but hey, let's see if that's any better. Thank you very much, Bernie, for letting me know, and also Dark Sector as well, if he's still here. Okay, so let's get back into it. I'll try and load up the Crucible again, and we'll get another, we'll get another couple in. I'm sorry, I know this is a very long live stream this morning. But anyway, thanks for jumping on board. It's been a lot of fun. We've still got a little bit more to do and talk about. Apologies, we were replying to someone. Okay, so let's get talking about the raid again. So we've talked about kind of. So where are we up to? Alright, vendors. I don't know if you heard me on that one, so talking about the vendor, okay, he's going to be like all the other vendors now. He's going to start kind of rotating stock through. You'll be able to go in and buy gear, so I think you'll be able to buy prestige gear, but I think you might have had to complete the prestige first. I'm not 100% sure. Okay, I know this is it. You have to complete. So if you want to buy the prestige gear or buy gear from the sweeper bot, that's kind of got the weird, funny, glowy face. I would say you need to complete. The raid to start buying the raid gear, and if you want to buy the prestige raid gear, because you might be missing a bit. You can. You have to complete the actual. You have to complete either the normal raid or the prestige raid to unlock the ability to buy for that week. So each week when the reset happens, you'll need to then complete the raid to then be able to complete the raid to buy that bit of gift. So if you're missing, like, I don't know, your boots or something like that, you'd have to complete that raid to carry on with what's happening. Alright, so that talks about the raid gear. Okay, so they're also bringing out a raid. What was it? The new exotic raid ghost. So this will allow you to, it'll give you better stats and perks inside the raid. It's called the Contender Shell. That's basically saying, I know it's not much of, a grand level of legendary whatever. It's basically saying you can get this ghost by dropping Callus or the final boss in the raid layer. So far I think that's the only way you can get it. You have a chance. Sorry, you don't. It's not a guarantee that you'll get it by the end of that. You might have to do Callus maybe 3-4 times, or you might be lucky and get it on the first one. So yeah, that can drop. There's so much here about this. One of the perks on this is for exotics. So exotics. So you get 50% chance of dropping an exotic that you haven't already got. It doesn't stop the fact that you might already have. It just gives you a 50% chance of getting an exotic that you haven't got. It doesn't mean you have a 50% chance of getting an exotic. It just gives you that for it just means you'll get that chance to
Zone A captured.
get an exotic you haven't got, or more of a chance of getting an exotic you haven't got. Bit better if you've got them all, but at that point it don't really matter if you've got them all. Right, okay. This is not really the best map to not paying attention. Okay. Okay, so let's try. Where is everyone?
Zone A lost.
Okay, I've probably just gone silent. I'm just going to quickly try and kill or capture a zone. I feel like I've been poorly playing right now. But yeah, information is important. I'm dead now anyway. Okay, so trying to find. I think it's also going to give you a good chance of starting to get more bright engrams drop in as well, to help with all these other pieces as well.
Zone A captured. You have zone advantage.
Okay, so they're saying the contender shell comes with some brand new perks that we're hoping helps players or rewards players that keep clearing the raid even after they've got the ghost shell. Both active only on the Leviathan and its layers. They aim to make Leviathan encounters rewardable, staying awesome. First sticker of brilliance and drop back items. So basically, they want to make them encounters better. I know that it's a system that needs kind of reworking, retweaking. I'm glad they want to start making the encounters a bit better. I mean, people know that I'm not the biggest fan of the encounters, purely because I don't have the time in the world to do it. So obviously you're going to see other perks.
Zone A lost. Only 5 minutes left.
So you're going to you have the raid, that ghost shell is going to be there as well. So we're going to just kind of play the game for a bit. We'll head off to the tower and unlock a few pieces from the tower in a minute, and we'll go through some other bits, especially like the patch notes that's going to come up, and also they have discussed what's kind of happening a little bit more with shaders, and I feel like it needs a bit more of my attention, and I'm going to be able to do that in the tower, but I feel like we need to do a bit more Crucible playing, a bit of random commentary over kind of bombarding staggered news whilst I try and play Crucible. If I was smart, I would play the Crucible, then do the recording for this. But yeah, again, it comes down to time and editing. I don't always necessarily have the time, but especially when you want to go live, talk about these things. I do not like this map. Oh, I haven't used a shot on it. Alright, let's go back into my banner, sort of. Right, okay, let's get back in this. So let's just do a bit of harmless. Oh yeah, typical.
3 minutes.
I'll go a different way. Empty. Okay, let's get stuck into this good old Crucible mark. Oh, that was a close one.
Zone B captured. You have advanced. Zone A captured. That's a power play.
Alright,
Now hold.
bring back master. I want that one. I want all the masterwork armor now. Get that resilience back up. Bring me the resilience I used to have.
Zone A lost.
I'm running to Zone A. I don't like going to Zone B. Zone B, ugh, fucking nightmare. Just like my shooting.
You're pulling ahead. Keep it that way.
Oh, motherfuckers, man.
Zone A captured. Power play.
Oh.
Keep the pressure on.
Oh, that's just not. Oh, that's just a power play. Sweet. Come on, pop your little tiny head out. Oh, I got a power play kill.
1 minute left. Zone A lost. The route is on. Finish it.
Alright, guys, just replying a quick message.
30 seconds remain. Finish them. Victory imminent. Zone C lost.
I knew that would happen.
Take this. Zone A captured. You have zone advantage. A well-fought victory.
And just a laugh. Right, guys, we're gonna head back to the tower now. Kind of unlock some stuff that I've collected over the last couple of days. But also I want to go through kind of the patch note reviews and kind of what the statement is about with how did I get top place in that game? Oh, no, not that. So yeah, I want to kind of have a go through their shader bits as of what they've said. So yeah, I mean it's easier to talk to whilst kind of a little bit more static. Okay, so let's go see what we've got over at the tower. So I'm still hunting that chest piece, that 335 chest piece. Okay, so whilst we're in orbit, let's go over the patch notes. Okay, so this is the patch notes that's coming for the 30th of Feb. Oh, 30th of Feb? There is no 30th of Feb. What am I on about? That's a blunder there, isn't it? Okay, this is patch notes for the 30th of Jan. Masterworks and changes to raid rewards ain't the only changes coming in the upcoming 1.1.2 update on January 30th. Here is a look at a few of the other fixtures, is what they're saying. Sorry, I'm reading verbatim what they're saying on the review. Okay, so Prometheus lens is finally getting a fix. Okay, so what they've done is the frame reflection pack now generates ammo instead of pulling from your reserves. and they've also increased the base damage, so it might actually make this weapon system a little bit more fun to use. I know everyone had mass amount of fun with this once it I had a lot of fun with it when it kind of came out, because it was overpowered massively. So what we've got: a helmet, chest, more shaders that I don't want, and a scout that will all be dismantled. And let's see what the exotic is. A helmet that I already have. That's good going. Nicely done. Thank you very much for that. So much for fixing the whole thing. Alright, let's go see good old Cade 6. If he'll give me the square root of nothing, as per usual. I haven't got my hopes up here until the loot pool is a lot bigger. Personally, I still think you should bring back a lot of stuff from D1 to make that loot pool a little bit bigger. I'm not saying everything, just, you know, the much loved stuff. Okay, alright, sidetrack again as per usual. Okay, so let's see what Cade's got. The other fixtures that they had is fix an issue with where new characters created after the release of Curse of Osiris were not reflecting the receiving the flashpoint milestone. Okay, so that's a big issue there. That's not good. Mind you, I'm doing the flashpoint one on Titan right now, and I get nothing. Masterworks though, that's good. I'll knock that down in a minute. On Titan, right? I'm not gonna bother with them. We've also got some, you know, engrams for stuff. Okay, let's get rid of some stuff. Yeah, not all the crap I don't want. I mean, I'm very stuck with. I'll keep that to melt that down. The same.
You have to learn the language, not just grunts, you know.
Get rid of you. Oh, not a few 335s. I'm saving them for when I need to actually put them in the zone. I'll put in that. Okay, let's get rid of these. Okay, so next up is they're saying players in social spaces like the tower receive a notification when they lost and found at the postmaster is full. Okay, so they've done something with that. I'm not so worried about that personally. Heroic Strike completions now have a guaranteed chance of getting an exotic reward. So going back to what Dark was saying, start doing Heroic Strikes. You've got a good chance of getting exotics. Let's say a greater exotic rewards, or granting exotic rewards. So we've got more of a chance to get exotics from that. Okay, I'm bored of this in the Cade. Let's move away from Cade and head over to Hawthorne. Apologies for sniffles, I'm a little bit meh at the moment. Okay, so let's just get through the patch notes. I'll do a run and then we can talk about the shaders. Okay. Next up, we have Mercury challenges are now available during adventures. That's cool. Not like anyone really pays attention to challenges. Just bring back bounties. Personally, that's my thoughts. They've also saying fix an issue where Curse of Osiris strikes were not properly guaranteeing clan engrams when featured as the Nightfall activity. Okay, not good. I like my engrams. It's what boosts my power. And it's the only thing I can guarantee to look forward to each week to actually get me more power. Fixed an issue where challenges were not appearing in quick play. Yet again, don't really care. Personally, I don't care about challenges. Bring back bounties. Bounties were a lot better, and you chose which ones you wanted, and you had a greater chance of getting a better reward once you leveled up your reputation. Okay, next one, the final one for patch notes. They said they've increased the dismantling the time for masterwork cores. Yet again, it's not really a massive issue with that. I suppose that if you don't want to necessarily get rid of it, then that is a good thing. So coming in January 30th, so we've also got the Iron Banner coming back. I reckon then people will jump back into that. That's going to be good. Well, me personally, I don't think it's going to be good because I enjoy Iron Banner anyway. I think it's a lot better than what it was, especially when there's no cap on how many engrams you can unlock, how many tokens you can get. So farm away, it's like Bungie wants you to kind of just smash the living hell out of the Iron Banner and just get as many engrams and tokens as you can for it as well. So obviously you've got all the new ornaments to get. It's the first time we're going to get the ornaments for it. Let's pray to God with that chest. Ugh. I just feel like I'm chasing nothing. Come on, people. Let's go to New Monarchy and tell me that they've won.
New Monarchy would have liked your support, but we all make our own choices.
I would have got it, so I'm not paying that.
Unity, we are opening our armory for
I don't think I got that though.
all guardians. If you so desire,
Ooh,
you
very
may
nice.
purchase an example of ours.
Pardon me. Okay. Let's go see what Evil Tess has got for us as well. If my sound keeps jumping off, because you guys have told me the sound's jumping in and out every now and then, I'm just flicking back in now and then just to turn the mic off, turn it back on. So that seemed to have worked last time. So we're going to keep up with that now. Hi mate, thanks for joining us on the stream. If you want to know more, obviously go back through. We talked over Iron Banner, we talked over Masterwork armor pieces, and we have just talked about kind of some of the changes in the raid sort of stuff. So feel free to jump back through the live stream. Also briefly touched on just now bits and pieces on patch notes, but now we're also going to talk about the kind of the release Bungie's given us for on the shader issue and kind of where they're at with it and kind of why nothing's kind of been done as such. Right. If anyone's ever watched my kind of D1 stuff, I always ended up doing something ridiculous like standing on edge or something and just posing for something over the city or yeah, that would do me like that. Right, okay then guys, what we're going to do now is we'll talk about the shaded bits, okay? Kind of where Bungie's at with the shaders. I will read a lot more. I'll read a lot of this out more so than anything. Okay, so obviously if you played D1, you know that the shaders are completely different now than what they used to be. And so the reason why we haven't got to be able to dismantle them all is the fact is Bungie. They're saying it's not as simple. So basically, they're saying that to be able to do the actual function and do the upgrade, they can physically do it, but they're more worried about the rewards you get. So when we dismantle shade, you either get your bright dust or you get glimmer. So what they're worried about is if you do a mass deletion of shaders, they're worried that you're not going to get anything, and that will cause more of a stir than what you should be expecting. Like, okay, I'm dismantling, I don't know, 10 shaders, and you're going to get like what, was it 100? Well, it's 50 or whatever it is to dismantle them. So you'd be missing out on all that glimmer. And then also what it is that if you max glimmer, you're not going to get any rewards for it. So they're worried about the reward element by dismantling them. So it's not the actual act of doing it they're having problems with. It's the way that they're going to work it so that it's not, you're not losing out on something because it is a consumable at the end of the day. They are looking at bringing back, like they did in D1, so it's not a consumable as such, so that if you, I think the way that they're saying is that if you unlock the shader, they're going to do it in a way so you can, so you have like a stand where you can go in, a bit like the vault, you can go in and you see which shaders you've unlocked, and then you'll be able to go in and get shaders, a bit like what we do with our exotic engram. So obviously we dismantle our exotics, but we can still always get them back at any time. So they're talking about having a way to kind of bring it in. So this is what they say. It says, we know that you missed D1 armor shader mechanics, looking at ways to reintegrate that capability without losing the ability to shade weapons, ghosts, ships, and sparrows, or customize specific pieces of armor. So they want to try and. It sounds like they want to go back to sort of the way, because if you remember shaders D1, you used to have one shader and it would do the whole of your armor. You couldn't apply that to your ship, you couldn't apply that to your weapons. So I think that's the reason why, another reason why they don't want to do it. They don't want to be able to have that, they want to have that free range customizability. Me personally, I would rather have the old shader system and then bring in this new shader system specific just for weapons, ships, and sparrows. But for armor, let's have the shaders that we had. Is that not something we could probably look at? They probably thought of that, because I'm not a dev, I don't know these sort of things. They also go on to say that they also understand we want shaders to be more freely usable and not limited by availability. They're saying they're looking at reintegrating shader collections or a way to get copies of shaders in the process. That's just what I just said about kind of shaders being able to be reusable, a bit like what we got with our exotics currently. They're saying it should be easier to get rid of stacks of shaders, and it is something they're looking into. But their article in the Bungie website is that it's just a note to say, hey, we are aware, this is the sort of challenge we're looking into, this is what we're looking at, please don't shoot us. So yeah guys, that's pretty much what I've got from this stream. And it's been a bit of a longer stream than normal, but there's a lot of information now, a lot of information. I mean, Bungie's communication over what's happening has got better over time, and it is something that I would definitely like to see more of, especially going forward. Definitely want to see more of it going forward. You know, especially let's get that communication going. I personally think that Tom Clancy's Division, with their live stream state of the games, is probably one of the better systems around at the moment. Not the system, sorry, the better way of projecting news onto people. And I know D released a tweet saying they prefer doing it written, there's no miscommunication, but I still think there is a lot of miscommunication in the written word. People's interpretation of that written word can be completely different to what you would if you were just physically saying and explaining that little bit of situation. So I think where Tom Clancy's The Division has got the live streams, and they broadcast news updates through that live stream weekly or fortnightly. I think that's still a good way, especially at the moment. They need to reinstill the faith into the community that has left. A lot of people are gone. So on that note, that's my negative side out of the way for that. But yeah, thank you very much for watching. Apologies for the very long live stream. I will be doing another Crucible A.M. soon. I'll probably announce it on my Twitter or on the channel. So subscribe to the channel if you want to see more Crucible A.M.s. This is where I will be going over sort of any updates or any thoughts on current Destiny 2 activities, or Destiny 1 if there is anything new on Destiny 1. But I move on. Okay, thanks guys, thanks for your time this morning. I hope you have a good day, happy Friday, and until next time, if I don't see you over the weekend, have a good weekend. Enjoy. I have been BlazeThrough Gaming. Catch you all later. Bye for now.